Hello and welcome to this short session about digital transformation. I call it digital or death. The inference of this term here is that any business which is not taking advantage of the digital technologies of today will eventually lead themselves to an organic death. Before we get any further, it's important to understand as to why are we saying this. The list of companies that you see here were once big brands but are nowhere to be seen now. In fact, digital is the main reason that 52% of Fortune 500 companies have been completely wiped out of our memories. Hence, the only way for businesses to survive is by undergoing a phase of digital transformation. For the next few minutes, I would like to take you all through a journey that starts with the basic definition of digital transformation, then moving on to its key components, talking about some examples of companies that have and haven't done it well, and lastly, touching upon the topic of technologies involved under the umbrella of digital transformation. Starting on with the basic definition first, digital transformation can most simply be defined as the empowerment of business with technology. In the end, it's all about revisiting most of your business processes with a keen eye to observe as to how much of it can be automated. Let us talk a bit about some of its key components. Digital transformation starts by being on the cloud, and the main reason behind it is that a cloud presence frees up your time, resources, and energy for something that really differentiates your business, rather than you worrying about the monotonous tasks of managing an IT infrastructure. Second is building up on analytics to understand what is working or not working for you. Let your businesses take informed decisions rather than a guesswork. On top of analytics, you build up a marketplace, which is basically an interface between your company and your customers. Lastly, being mindful of the fact that your marketplace can be accessed via different devices. These devices have varying bandwidth and varying sizes too. Irrespective of that, the user experience is expected to be absolutely seamless. These four layers are continuously talking to each other. Therefore, the learnings from one layer are supposed to be applied to another. These four layers can also be categorized into two main areas: automation and experience. As long as you are taking steps to have better automation, a good experience can be expected, at least theoretically. Let us have a look at how one of the most famous companies implemented this model. Netflix, as you know, as one of the world's largest entertainment service provider. They started off their digital journey by being on AWS. In fact, theirs is one of the famous success stories that made AWS popular. Thereafter, they built up an analytics layer to the extent that they claim you as a viewer end up watching 75% of the things that they recommend to you. This is an example to explain you how well do they know us. Depending on your preferences, you and your friends might see different thumbnails of the same movie. Marketplace is, of course, their website or mobile app. With devices, Netflix makes sure to push the app resolution of videos to your devices. And the result? They are consistently ranked number one. 37% of people having access to internet use Netflix. Their annual revenue has been growing by leaps and bounds. On the contrary, ToysRUs couldn't manage their process very well. At one point in time, they were one of the biggest baby product retailers in the US. They had huge, impressive numbers in terms of employees and revenues. At some point in time, they were also ranked quite high in the Forbes list. But they had no digital strategy. They failed to analyze that the world is moving towards seeking experiences of tech toys, whereas they kept on producing the old school toys. They did have a website, but the checkout process and the whole experience was so cumbersome that it couldn't help them revive. The result? They declared bankruptcy soon after. When it comes to technologies used in digital transformation, all the buzzwords you hear around AI, ML, IoT, blockchain, cybersecurity, and whatnot are very, very relevant. But remember that just infusion of technology is not digitalization. Rather, the infusion of technology to help your businesses grow is digital transformation. In the end, I would like to leave you with what Steve Jobs once said. Start by thinking about customer first and work backwards toward technology. Thank you very much.